Welcome here to the Ridealong channel on a super windy afternoon in Vassiliki. I'm on a 5-meter spy from 0.7 and a 103 ignite. And to be honest, that 5 meter is about a meter too much. But it kind of comes with that age-old classic of it's the right sail because it's the one that I rigged. So I'm sticking with it. And today, I'm going to run you through a few of the most common jibing mistakes that I see. You're improving your planing carve jibes, or at least you're going for them, but things are going wrong and you can't quite work out why. These are a few of the most common things I see. Starting, of course, from the beginning of the jibe, because, well, that'll be very logical. The preparation stage, how we actually bear away and get into the jibe. Because if that's gone wrong, chances are pretty high that something's going to go wrong further round the jibe. And the thing I discover is that everyone seems to blame the foot change or the rig flip or the exit or something later on, when actually it's gone wrong from the entrance. And what I mean by preparing for the jibe then, the jibe starts upwind. Start upwind, get control, get stable. Don't just bear away hard and see what happens. Upwind, stable and fast. The next thing I see with this preparation is that the backhand hasn't gone back down the boom at all. Or maybe it has, but not enough. In order to be able to hold on to the power through the foot change, rig flip and exit, your backhand needs to be a long way back down the boom. Like, really a long way. And often I actually give it a second little shimmy down the boom, partway through the jibe, just to give me even more control towards that midpoint and exit. Now the next part of the preparation, the entrance of the jibe, I don't think you have to do it, but if you're struggling with the midpoint and the exit, I'd highly recommend doing this. And that's while going upwind, take your back foot out. The mistake is, when people bear away and go for the jibe, we get some speed up, we're in both straps, we go in broad reach, and then what I see people doing is taking the back foot out, stamping across onto the rail, and then carving out of control and wobbling around the place. So to correct that, when you're going upwind, when you're stabilizing everything off, that's the point when you take your back foot out, allowing you then, when it's the right moment, when it feels good, to shimmy and shuffle your creepy back foot across to the other side of the board and actually carve gently. Bearing away, creepy back foot, to then start that carve softly. Now that little idea I popped in just there of the creepy back foot and softly carving, that's the next common mistake I see a lot, is carving too hard. If you are driving through a huge open space in your car, no one else around you, and you wanted to maintain speed and turn your car to go around in the other direction, you wouldn't stamp in a really sharp turn and turn the car around a hairpin. You go for a long, open, very gentle steering of that car to maintain speed and have a smooth ride as the driver. It's the same thing in a carve jibe. Don't try and hook in a hairpin and stamp on the rail as hard as you can. Let that board go wide and open and carve gently, not stamp and hope. Moving further through the jibe. So the next problem, which is kind of two problems that link very nicely together, and that's midway through the jibe. Because you've gone so broad and so hard, which is good, I want you to go broad. A lot of people then find themselves still stuck really low down here and end up fully leaning back off the back of the board. At the same time as doing that, the rig is often pulled very close to you. So the mistake is leaning back too far and pulling the rig close. So the game to play, and I'm just checking I've got some space here, I'm looking to say, is as I come into that jibe, I'm neutral and on top of the board. And from here I can make the decision as to where to go without needing to carve the board hard and hope something happens. So let's see that one again. Checking I've got some space into the entrance of that jibe. I'm very upright and neutral. There's no massive stamp on the rail, leaning forwards, backwards, or leaning hard to the inside. You can actually see me there completely let go of the sail. It doesn't have to be let go, of course, but I'm not full commitment on the inside rail. I'm upright, I'm neutral, I'm taking my time. Rig's away, I'm upright and neutral, giving me all that time and all the space for a nice rig flip and an exit. I hope that makes sense. Neutral on top of the board, not full commitment trying to carve onto the inside. That's the common mistake I see. Now before I come to the next big one, which will be my final huge mistake, don't forget, if you haven't already, whack that little subscribe button down at the bottom, click the little thumbs up like button over to the side, and leave me a comment of which one of these mistakes are you making, or maybe there's some other mistakes that you've seen around your clubs or your sailing area. If you are coming out here to Vassiliki, remember, of course, drop me a message and join me either for some group coaching or some private coaching as well. That'll really help you out. Or if you can't make it to Vass, drop me a message anyway, and we can do some online video coaching. I've done quite a lot of that because I know a lot of people are watching these videos all over the world, and actually getting to this side of Greece possibly isn't an option. The final massive mistake I see a lot of the time with windsurfers improving their jibing, and this is the same from non-planing, lower intermediate levels, all the way through nearly planing or sometimes planing out of a jibe, is looking at your kit. Gear gazing is often called. Looking at that lovely shiny sail you've got in front of you, staring at your feet, trying to work out where you're standing. Beginner to advanced, eyes up, look where you want to go. If you're a regular to the channel, you know I say that a lot. Maintain your vision, maintain your sailing line, and that's exactly the same coming through a jibe. As I'm changing my feet, as I'm changing the rig, I'm not looking at my feet or rig. I'm looking through the turn towards the exit. I'm super stacked as I come into this one. Looking through the sail, looking towards my exit. I was stacked, the wind dropped halfway around. There's nothing at all. There are so many reasons for looking through the jibe and looking towards your exit. The biggest one, of course, is your balance. It's almost impossible to balance if you're staring at your hands or your feet or the water. Look up towards the exit. Everything is easier to balance. It also allows you to read the chop and the waves and see what's going on. It also means you're more likely to efficiently counterbalance the sail, which is opposing where that rig goes, if you're not staring at it. Generally, I see people look at the rig halfway through the rig flip and then get pulled in, because by looking at the rig, you accidentally end up leaning towards the rig and then getting pulled in. I know I said that was the final common mistake I see, but I'm going to give you one more. A cheeky bonus one, if you will. And the bonus little tip at the end just now is about the style of jibe you go for. Now, whether you call it a step jibe, a strap-to-strap jibe, a plain and carved jibe, or a power jibe, what we're not trying to do until you're really quite good at jibing is starting to do a slalom jibe or a lay-down jibe. So a lot of people have heard or thought that by oversheeting the sail, leaning the sail down to the inside like you see slalom racers do, that depowers the sail. And when it's done well, it does. The thing is, when you're learning to do that, you're going to end up powering the sail up rather than depowering it. It goes through this phase of leaning the sail to the inside, gives you more and more power, and then the power is dropped when you really get it low enough. So my tip is, unless you're actually pretty good at jibing, I wouldn't start oversheeting and trying lay down jibes. They're probably not really going to help you out. Thanks as always for joining me here on the Ridealong channel. I'll see you on the waters very soon.